Today's forecast for 2023 in America. Cloudy with a chance of recession.
The looming possibilities of unemployment, reduction of product demand and prices, and a significant downturn in national economic activity may be bad news for many people. But the rich and wealthy welcome the onset of economic depression, as they're usually the ones most prepared, equipped, and benefited during recessions. Don't go yet! You can also take advantage of these impending hard times and even come out richer than you ever were. The truth is, recessions are part of any business or economic cycle. Think of the early 1990s recessions and the more recent 2007 to 2009 Great Recession. The upcoming recession would be similar to those events, but recessions eventually come to pass, allowing a nation's economy to reset and recover. What we need to know is what exactly is a recession, the ways you can cope with it, and the opportunities that could make you wealthier. A recession isn't just one bad event, but a series of unfortunate events. First, the Federal Reserves increased the supply of money and interest, prompting companies to increase product prices in response to the rapid growth of value and constant demand, resulting in inflation. As inflation rises, consumers notice the significant price increase of their favorite products and subscriptions while still earning the same amount of wages, causing them to spare extra expenses, buy cheaper alternatives, and save up on cash, leading to a decrease in demand. When companies realize they're losing customers and sales, they too drop their production costs by laying off employees, reducing prices, and postponing investment ambitions, all leading to a rise in unemployment rate and devaluation of goods, products, services, and even stocks. If this cycle continues for 2 consecutive quarters with a noticeable decline in the gross domestic product, a recession has begun. So, are we truly headed for a recession? The answer's in the pudding, pages. According to a quote from CNN Business, there's now a 98% chance of a global recession, while a more recent article published by Bloomberg economists insists a 100% chance of a recession in 2023, even mentioning the S&P 500, the defining measure of Wall Street and America's overall stock market performance, is down for a fifth of its value this year. If you have 401ks, you should already be concerned. In addition to shoppers spending less, companies selling less, stocks and bonds spiraling down, and prices of energy soaring higher, it's a definitive yes, we are on a highway to recession. So, what can you do about it? Surely this upcoming economic downturn is going to affect you and the people you care for, and we're here to help you out. Welcome to Luxo-Life, your partner toward personal growth and success. This time, we'd also like to hold your hand through the next vicious months of depression for the economy and hopefully not for you. But first, we encourage you to focus on your personal and long-term financial goals instead of listening only to the potential downsides of the recession, which may cause you to dwell in pessimism. We're here to make sure that you realize and adapt to every opportunity this chain of events would present. So, you're gonna need a ready mind, a positive outlook, and a concrete plan to emerge victorious on the other side of the storm. Opportunity number 1. Nearly everything is at a discounted price. Naturally, during a recession, prices of common goods, services, and amenities decline due to abundant supply and less demand. As people cut back on expenses, companies sell less, forcing them to sell their products cheaper. As companies sell fewer products at lesser prices, their stock values also go down, giving inexperienced investors a bad headache. However, wealthy people and experienced investors see this as a great opportunity to buy more stocks from those same companies for cheaper prices. And once those companies recover, their stock prices go higher, rewarding wise investors with an increase in profits. Still, it's important to note that not everything is going to be cheaper during a recession. In fact, food and gas prices may soar. When there's not enough money circulating in the system, farmers and oil companies would also save by reducing production, thus causing their supply to regress while the demand stays high, ultimately leading to inflation on food and gas. Opportunity number 2. Smaller, cheaper companies can grow more. With larger companies selling less and cutting back on expenses, meaning fewer advertisements and investments, smaller companies are able to take the spotlight as consumers turn to them for being the cheaper alternative. Think of an established cake shop that sells delicious cakes for $40. They have to sell their cakes near this average price because they pay for their building costs, employees, taxes, deliveries, and even advertisements. People normally buy from them because their cakes are popular and delicious. But then comes the recession and the cake shop continues to sell cakes for $35 to $40 to maintain production costs. Eventually, people stop buying from them because they're expensive. And the same people later discover a smaller, home-based cake shop that sells homemade cakes for $25 to $30. Since homemade cakes are the cheaper alternative and people decide they taste the same, this gives the smaller cake shop the greater opportunity to grow and profit more during and by the end of the recession. Opportunity number 3. A recession is simply a reset for the economy. Think of forest fires. These wildfires may cause hundreds of trees to burn down and die, but once the fire goes out, it leaves a trail of carbon in the air and the ground, from which sprouting trees can benefit and eventually grow into stronger and more resilient trees. Just as how a forest fire is part of the natural fire-forest recovery cycle and an agent of renewal and change, the same goes for recessions to an economy. Recessions weed and burn the weak while leaving fresh and fertilized ground for new businesses to grow and flourish. Recessions also scorch many markets, but this ultimately allows an economy to shift back to its roots, renew its groundwork, and establish a stronger foundation for a more resilient financial system. How do we know this? Throughout the world's economic history, recessions have always reset the economic balances as a response to rising inflation rates. Recessions cause inflation to subside, and while that does hurt many investors, it's what keeps the economy from totally collapsing due to rapidly rising prices. To shed light on this, when the Federal Reserve raised interest rates in response to the growing inflation between 1981 to 1982, a recession took place to counter the rapid growth of inflation. As a result, the inflation rate went from 11% in June 1979 to 5% by October 1982, allowing the U.S. economy to grow substantially for the following 8 years. So now, what can you do to cope up with a recession? Tip number 1. Spend less. Live below your means. Assemble a tight budget plan. Stop looking and shopping for unnecessary things. And create an emergency fund through a high-interest savings account. Be extra prepared for what might happen during the recession, and this includes an extremely frugal way of life for the sake of your future financial goals. Tip number 2. Work more. This includes making yourself more valuable to your company by investing in more essential skills, finding a side hustle or an extra part-time job, promoting your small business, or building a passive income stream. We know it's gonna be hard, but earning more money on the side takes priority if you want to get through this recession with more than less. Tip number 3. Invest long-term. Now would be the best time to buy stocks at lower costs. If your current stocks have already lost value, then you know it would be better to buy more than do nothing. Stay invested and keep investing for the long term, since you already know that economies and companies can and will recover from recessions. However, make sure that you're invested in companies that have good track records and financial histories, or those that have proven the ability to recover from recessions. Tip number 4. Diversify investments. You can never put all your eggs in one basket, and that's even more crucial during a recession. Diversification allows you to spread the investment risks in your portfolio so that if aggressive funds fail, you still benefit from your conservative funds. Index funds and ETFs offer the diversification you need to increase your chances of emerging on the other side of the storm with success and a smile. Was this video helpful? Leave us a like and a comment below on what you can do to succeed in the upcoming recession of 2023. Also, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell to always stay updated for more awesome and educational videos here at Luxo-Life.